If you lift weights, there's a 1 in 3 chance you'll end up needing medical help in the next 5 years. In most cases, it starts with a small pain you ignored until it became an injury you couldn't fix. And most of these injuries come from this. Every single day, millions of people are unknowingly destroying their shoulders, rep after rep. What's even worse, they won't feel the real damage until it's too late. One of the most popular exercises for shoulders is the upright row. Seems simple. Grab a barbell or dumbbells and pull them up to your chin. Now, as we all know, it's supposed to build your shoulders in traps. But what if I told you that every single rep is like dragging a rope over a sharp edge? At first, nothing happens. But after a while, the fibers start to fray and weaken, until one day, it completely snaps. That's exactly what's happening inside your shoulders. Here's why it's so dangerous. Your shoulder isn't just any joint, it's the most mobile joint in your entire body. It can move in almost any direction, but that flexibility comes at a cost. It's also the least stable. That's why shoulder injuries account for nearly 36% of all weightlifting-related injuries. The upright row does the same thing. It forces your shoulders into an unnatural position, squishing the tendons against your bones until one day they wear out and you feel the pain. And by the time you feel it, it's already too late. To make things even worse, shoulder injuries take the longest to heal compared to almost any other joint injury. Rotator cuff tears and impingements don't just go away overnight. Some require months of rehab, and in serious cases, surgery. Even professional athletes aren't safe. Shoulder injuries have ended dozens of careers in the NFL, NBA, and Olympic weightlifting. So ask yourself, is it really worth it? Every rep of the upright row is like rolling the dice with your shoulder health. And the most terrifying fact? This is just the first exercise. The next one is even more dangerous, because it tricks you into thinking you're getting stronger while silently tearing your joints apart. You see it in almost every gym. Trainers love it, athletes swear by it, but the truth? It's one of the most damaging movements you can do. I'm talking about kipping pull-ups. At first, they look impressive. People swinging their bodies, cranking out rep after rep, making pull-ups look effortless. But they're not really pull-ups at all. Think about it. If you can't do a strict pull-up, why are you swinging into one? Would you sprint before you can walk? Would you deadlift without learning how to brace? Would you max out a bench press without building control first? Yet that's exactly what kipping does. It lets you cheat your way into an exercise your body isn't prepared for. Instead of using strength, they rely on momentum, throwing the body into the air and slamming joints into unnatural positions. And just like a car speeding over potholes every day, the damage adds up over time, until something finally breaks. That's exactly what's happening to your spine, elbows, wrists, and shoulders during kipping pull-ups. The extreme motion breaks down your joints, leading to injuries that can take months to heal, or worse, never fully recover. And once the damage is done, there's no quick fix. Herniated discs can take years to recover. Tendinitis in your elbows can make even simple movements painful. Surgery is sometimes the only option, and even if you heal, your body will never be the same. Now, the next exercise seems like it's really safe, but imagine this. You walk into the gym, ready for leg day, and you see a squat rack with a bar attached to a sliding track. The Smith machine. It looks safe because the bar moves in a straight line, helping you stay balanced. And that's why the Smith machine squat is one of the worst things you can do to your knees, back, and hips. A real squat lets your body move naturally, shifting weight and adjusting your balance. The Smith machine forces you into a fixed position, making your joints absorb all the stress instead of your muscles. There are countless videos of lifters snapping their knees backward because the machine made them overextend. One bad lockout, and your knee could bend the wrong way, permanently. Many lifters walk away from a Smith machine squat feeling fine, only to wake up the next morning with a locked-up lower back, a slipped disc, or even sciatica. Once that happens, it's months of rehab, or worse, surgery. Here's something to think about. No Olympic athlete squats on a Smith machine. No professional powerlifter trains on one. No strength coach in the world recommends it. Why? Because they know strength isn't just about moving weight, it's about control, and the Smith machine takes that away from you. So before you step into the Smith machine, always remember that. You're one rep away from a mistake you can't undo. It's time for the fourth exercise. You've probably done this one before, maybe in the gym, maybe at home. It's simple, requires no equipment, and makes your arms burn. But what you don't feel, at least not yet, is the damage building up inside your shoulders. That's exactly why bench dips are a terrible choice for you. Imagine pulling your arm too far back and adding weight to it. Your shoulder isn't designed to move that way. The deeper you go, the more pressure you put on your joints, tendons, and ligaments. Anyway, if you still decide to do this, you should have in mind that shoulder surgery has one of the worst recovery rates ever. If you tear your rotator cuff, 40% of people never fully recover, even after surgery. And if you tear it twice, the chances of full recovery drop to nearly 0%. To make things even worse, the average cost of rotator cuff surgery in the US is between $10,000 and $15,000, and that's before months of rehab. There are actual viral videos of people snapping their humerus in half doing dips. Why? Because when the arm is locked behind the body, all the stress gets loaded onto the weakest points of the bone and ligaments. You might think, that won't happen to me, but neither did the thousands of people who ended up in rehab, in surgery, or with lifelong shoulder pain from one bad rep. So before you drop into another set, ask yourself, is a small triceps pump worth the risk of permanent damage? Would you follow a diet that's been proven not to work? Would you keep doing an exercise that made your bench press weaker? Would you deadlift with a rounded back? Would you squat with your knees caving in? Then why are you still wasting time on a lat pull down that doesn't even work? If you actually care about getting stronger, it's time to leave this outdated gym myth behind. Because if you keep doing it, you're not training for strength, you're training for nothing. If you feel confused, you should be, because I'm not talking about regular lat pull-downs. I'm talking about behind the neck lat pull-downs. They feel tough. You think, this must be working. Maybe you saw someone jacked doing them, or maybe a trainer told you they're great for your lats. But here's the truth. There's zero scientific evidence that pulling behind your head builds a bigger back than pulling to your chest. In fact, you're making your lats work less. But that's not all. They're tearing your shoulders apart. Your neck takes the hit. Leaning your head forward to clear the bar crushes your spine, leading to stiffness, nerve pain, and headaches. And wonder? When's the last time you needed to pull something heavy behind your head? Never! The movement doesn't exist in sports, competition, or real life. So why are you still doing it? If you actually care about real progress, it's time to train smarter.